This is code.org. In design mode, create the screens designed in step 6 of your planning guide. If you're my student, you already haven't completed that. Let's take a look at the apps though. So here was their example, right? And this one I liked a lot, so I'm going to model mine somewhat after this. I'm going to say Mr. Kaiser, and this is from lesson 12, right? This is a good idea for how maybe you want yours to work. And it says a different restaurant, ooh, Portage Bay, that's in Seattle, I love that place, based on the price you're willing to pay. So this is going to be similar to mine, at least aesthetically. Now, and this is the planning guide, students. All right, let's get going. I'm going to go ahead and walk through the design of mine. My app is going to be a fortune teller app. Ooh. All right, so I'm going to get started. I'm going to, name it fortune teller because I'm not creative. That's the ID though. All right, text is going to be fortune teller. I'm going to make this ID title text because you always want it clear on what it is. It needs to be easy to understand. Something like that, because now I'm going to make my font huge. Not that big. Perfect, and centered. Awesome. Fortune teller. Bum, bum, bum. Now, what do I need? Well, I'm going to ask the person for their name. You know, makes it more personalized. Drop. It doesn't need to be that big. And I'll say name input. Enter your name. All right? And then what do we want? Well, I need some details for their fortune. I was going to ask, because, you know, it's a fortune, we're going to get their favorite color, or we're going to ask them to pick a color, I guess. So, color input, and then, or no, color label. Pick a color, and then I'm going to have a drop down. Okay, and then I need to add options. So I'm going to let them do red, green, blue, purple, orange. I'm not going to let them choose any color on earth. Those are their options. And the idea will be color drop ID. Okay. And then the other thing I'm going to ask for is their age. So and I really like the buttons they had on their example, so I'm going to do something like that. I'm going to use boop, and then say up, BTN for up arrow button. And then what's it going to say? It's not going to say anything. I'm just going to scroll down to get an image. Don't need to upload it. They should have an arrow. I'm going to type in arrow. Yep, up arrow. I'm going to shrink that way down. 30 by 30, what if they have big fingers? 30 by 35 is great. And then I'm just gonna duplicate this right here. I'm gonna click duplicate, grab and pull, and then I'm gonna, instead of doing an up arrow, I'm gonna go icons, arrow again, and down arrow, okay? So then I need to rename or give this an ID, and this will be down BTN. All right. Now, what are those going to be changing? I'll figure out the fonts and stuff in a second. They're going to be changing a number, and the number needs a area for us to update and write, and that's going to be a text area. Since it's just one number, the text area can be pretty small. All right. And now we need one more. Oh, wait. I need to name this. Age text area. And if you want to put a default, you can. I could put in like 0. They're 0 years old. Maybe we can put 20. Either way. And I'll center that, actually. I'd like to. All right. And then I want one more text area down here where their fortune will go. Ooh, Now I'm going to pick a theme. Nope, it's gonna be the dark theme. Perfect. Or dark scheme. All right, design. I have my design laid out. I might change this up a bit. Keep in mind, you always can. So even after you pick a theme, I'm gonna do a border radius of like 5 on the, now on 0 on my labels, because I want it to be obvious which is a label. I'm also gonna increase their size, I guess. Oh, that's just the height of the box. Just kidding. Font. Like that. Yeah, I'll go up to 14 on both of those. And then I also want this to appear like it goes all the way across. So I'm gonna 0 this out. Boom. Maybe pull it, maybe not. Oh no, I like that. Boom, okay. There's my design, and I'm gonna keep going. The one other thing we could do is name the screen. Since we only have one, maybe not super necessary, but it's good to have IDs that are clear. All right, main screen, run. Ooh, and, oh, did I just, okay, I'm gonna do this theme. All right, blue gold, cool. All right, sorry, finish and continue. Oh, it didn't save it? I want a different theme. I want that theme. Save. Okay, what do we do now? Now switch to code mode, create variables for your app, and the list you create in step 4, right? So you should be using your planning guide, step 4, is what we're gonna be adding. So code, and I'm gonna add variables without setting them equal to anything, right? I'm just declaring them. So whoop, or I could go into block mode here, and I know of at least 3 I want, because I need their name. So I'm gonna call that name. And then I need the color choice, right? So I'll say color. And then I'm gonna need the age. Age. Let me go into design mode. Where did my, oh, there's age. Okay, so now once I get all of those, what else will I need? Well, I might need something to store what I am creating, but we'll wait on that. So name, color, age. Cool. I'm hitting run. I'm hitting finish. Onward. Now what? Create the update screen function. Add conditional statement to the function. What decision will your app make? What variables will be used in making that decision? Use the flowchart from your planning guide, which you should have filled out. Don't forget output. What will be displayed on the screen? Also add a comment explaining your function. Cool. Well, I'll start then. I'm going to create some blank lines just to give a space. And then more blanks. And then I'll go into code mode for now. I'm going to add a function right here. And it's update screen. Okay. My comment will be this considers the input and updates the screen, something like that, right? It's going to use analyzes the if statements, so it has conditional expressions in it. So I'm going to go into control, and I know I need an if else, right? What do I need to check? Well, first off, I want to check if their color is something, because again, I am outputting a fortune based on their input. So if their color is red, so to do that, I should do color, let me move that, color equals red, okay? Now, what am I gonna output? Well, I'm gonna output 2 different things. The rest of their fortune is gonna be standard. So to know what I'm gonna output, to store it, I'm gonna have 2 other variables. And I'm gonna just call them output 1 and output 2 for now. Output 1, output 2, okay? And then my default fortune will be, and maybe I could even write this over here so we can keep it in mind. So, hello blank, right? And I'm not going to leave this, I'm just showing you. Hello blank. I can see the future. Your next year is going to be blank. And that's the variable that we'll be filling in. All right, so back to the code. Now, notice I only have color equals. So we're gonna wanna consider 2 things for how their year is going to be. It's why we have 2 inputs. Okay, so I'm going to consider the color, but that's not enough. I'm also asking them their age to put out what we think their future is. So I'm going to go to show to text because I have to check 2 things. It's not dependent just on color. It's going to be and age, and my cutoff will be, we'll say 16 because that's, you know, contentious. All right, so if their age is greater than 16 here. Now let me go back to show blocks. So this means both of these sides, remember, would have to be true now. So if their color is red and their age is greater than 16, I'm gonna have this output. All right, so if their color is red and their age is greater than 16, I'm gonna say, oh, yep, I don't think we'll need output 2. I'll say output, and I'm gonna do this. Output will be equal to, and whatever I think. So if their color is red and their age is 16, I can see your future. Your next year is going to be rosy. Yeah, I'm creative. Oh, I should probably spell that right. Okay, so if it's red and that's going to be the output. Else, so if either of these are false, is that what we want? Right? We don't want the default. So if either of these are false, no. Now I want to know that it has to be color is going to be equal to red still. But then, and age will be, and don't forget, less than or equal to, right? Because otherwise 16 is excluded. So it's going, and keep in mind, you can always drag this stuff out. I'm typing it, but you can always drag it out. So less than or, oh, of course, less than or equal to 16. And I mean, I don't know, let's be nice because you might be this age. Output, your year is going to be, and I'm putting a space, yeah, well, yeah, let's do that. Your year is going to be rad, exclamation point. All right, and that's what output will be equal to. So let me get rid of that. Now, what about my other variables? Okay, so I have to keep going on this. If and, yep, if else. So now, if let's look at our options. I'm going to use blue next. So if color is equal to blue, and I'm doing something bad. Notice these aren't in quotes. This isn't going to work. This is a string. Okay, so this is a string. This should be a string. Gotta put them in quotes. You don't want to put numbers in quotes, at least not these ones. All right. So if color is equal to blue, and age, I'm going to have this one be a bit different because I can. Age is greater than 30. What do I want to have happen? Well, I'm going to say output will be equal to your year is going to be awful. Oh, wait, that's me. Oh, well. Your year is going to be awful. Womp womp. All right? Now, keep in mind, again, this is only if both of these things are true. So we're going to want an else if here with something. So if color is equal to blue and age is greater than 30, same idea. Well, what if it isn't? Well, if color is equal to blue and age is less than or equal to 30, because we want to include 30, otherwise it doesn't get included. If it's less than or equal to 30, we're going to say output equals your year is going to be brilliant. So now you might be thinking, oh, but what about all those other colors? Am I going to do all of them? I could, definitely. I definitely could. But what I'm actually going to do is, so now we know if it is red or if it is blue, right? Because if either of those are true, this stuff is said. I am going to now say everything else. So if I put an if here, if the computer gets to this point, I know that those things are not red or blue. The reason I know that is because if they are, well, they either had to pick an age above 16 or less than or equal to. So this would pop out. Or if it was blue, one of these had to happen. So that means it's not red or blue. So this is like the default. This is everything else. I will check age still. So if age is less than 10, I'm going to say your year will be, let's see, output. Your year will be childish. I'm so funny. Else, so everyone else, we're just going to use an else because I don't need to check two things and I'm not trying to fill in the gaps from a different age. So if that's not true, else your year is going to be colorful. Okay, let me make sure to put a semicolon and go into block mode so it's a bit easier to see. All right, here I am. So here's my big function, and it looks huge. If this and this, then that's the output. This and this, that's the output. Now blue, this and this, that's the output. Keep in mind, if one of these is false, it does not run the code inside. Zoop, boom, runs this code instead. Okay? And if this is false, zoom, runs this code instead. Oh, I have a problem though. I need age to be, okay. So I'm going to do in a double statement like we did before. Because age less than 10, this will override these top two. So what I'll do instead of just age less than 10 is I'm going to say if color does not equal blue and we've done this before with 3 of them, color does not equal red and, so we need all of those things to be true. Age is less than 10. You could also do what's called a nested if, which might clean this up a bit, but we'll keep with what we're doing. So now if age is less than 10, that will run. Else, and I'm going to turn my else into an else if, just like that. So let me show you what I have now. This way, because when an if finishes running, right? So, oh yeah, we'll say they pick red and their age is greater than 10, is greater than 16, then output will be equal to Rosie, and it skips the rest of this if, but it will still check this if. Well, it's not blue, it's red. So if I didn't actually check the color that it wasn't equal red, this would still run. All right. We're still not updating the screen though. We're just getting the info. Finally, at the bottom here, we can do set text. Okay. And then the idea of this thing is, did I not give it one? Text area 2. I'm going to say main area. All right. And then I'm actually just going to copy and go to my code, paste, because I'm going to need that. What ID? Main area. There we are. All right. And let me shrink this. This would be easier to do in text mode, so I'm switching. So, hello. And now I'm going to do quote, because here we're going to put a variable name, right? That's going to be where their name is displayed. Ooh, it's fighting me. There we are. Wow, that was annoying. All right. So, and make sure you have a quote and a quote. So, hello, name. Okay. I can see the future. Your next year is going to be... And that's where my other variable goes in. To make this easier to read on code.org... No, I want to leave it actually. All right. I have to have it like this. Your next year is going to be... And I don't need a space here because I put a space in front of all of my outputs and punctuation. So your next year is going to be plus output. Okay. I should be able to hit enter here. Oh. I'm not going to leave it like this. I just want you to be able to see. So your year is going to be plus output is what I have. If it also could be easier to make this all a variable, that's kind of up to you. But, all right. So let me go into block mode. Look how long it is. your year is going to be, I want to fix this so it's easier to read. So what I'm going to do is do a temp. All right. So I've shortened it up some. Let me add this back. Get rid of that. All right. So what I did is I just made a variable to store the final output, var my text, and I have hello name plus name, and then I have my text equal to my text plus, and then this is the other part of my statement. I could just have it all in here, but we were having problems reading it. So I see the future, your year is going to be plus my output. So the name variable goes there, my output goes here. I'm cramming it all into my text, right? My text, hello name, then I do my text equals my text plus all that, and then I output it here, okay? Now we don't run this yet, but we do have the code there. All right, so I think that's add a comment. Yep, we did that. Awesome, this is looking good so far. Let's keep going. Okay. Add on event blocks. Now we're going to make it work. In each on event block, update the appropriate variable, add a call to update screen. Okay, that makes sense. So what they're saying there, let me go to UI and grab an on event. And let me grab a blank space just to make it easier to read. All right, so I need, let's see, your name, and the ID for that is name input. So I'm going to do name input, and then so on the event that name input is clicked, no, because they're going to then type, so that's not when to do it. Let's see, how about change? So on the event that name input is changed, what are we going to do? Well, I want to get the text. Hey, look, get text. But where do I store it? I can get the text. Where am I putting it? Well, I want to put it in my name variable. So I'm headed to variables, drag that out, and go ahead and type in name. Name is going to be equal to what I was just saying, which is get text. Get text. What text am I getting? I'm getting the name input. There we are. So name will now be equal to the name input. Cool. That's our first on event. And then we need another on event. Let me grab a space so you can tell what I'm doing. Now on this on event, we're going to need the color. So color drop. So on the event that color drop is used, do I want click? Now I'm going to do change for this one again, right? So on the event that this changes, what do I want? Well, again, I'm going to want to get the text. This is text. So get text, but get text, what am I going to make it be equal? Oh, right, I have a variable color. So let's head over to variables, drop that in there, and color is going to be equal to get text. And it's going to be the text of, well, of color drop, right? Notice name input, color drop. We're grabbing that text. All right. Now your age is going to be slightly different. But again, on the event that age text area. Oh, no, we can do these buttons. We're going to do each button. All right. So working on that. So what did I name this? Up button, down button. So on the event that the up button is clicked, what do we want to have happen? Well, we have an age variable. So we're going to have age be equal to age plus 1. Another way of writing that is age plus plus. But okay, so my age variable will then be equal to whatever it used to be equal to plus 1 if they hit the up button. We are not done though, because we're going to want to update this number. So when they hit that button, we'll change what age is equal to, and then we want to set the text. So we're going to set the age text area. So age text area is going to be changed. What am I changing it to? Well, I'm changing it to their age, right? The word age is my variable. What if I want years behind this too? I think I do. I'm going to just do plus quotes space years. 20 years, your age. Nope, I don't want that. All right, so just their age will appear, just a number. Okay, now I need another on event because I need down. So, and I named that down button or down BTN. And we can say click. And once again, I want to do age equals age, but I want to subtract 1. So age equals age minus 1. Another way of writing that is age minus minus. And then once again, I'm going to do set text age. That's right here, right? Age text area, update their age. Because it doesn't matter if the age variable changes if we don't ask the computer to grab this text area and push that new number into it. So I'm just going to copy and paste it. I did that by highlighting it, Control-C and Control-V, because it's the same piece of code. Oftentimes, if you're repeating code, you want a function, but we're all right with that. That's just a tiny bit of code. Okay, now with all that said, we're still not using our update screen. When do we want this screen to be updated? Well, we're going to want it updated anytime they make a change, right? Because their fortune would change. So other than name, honestly, because it wouldn't make sense because they won't have enough info in there. So, and I could do it on name if I want to use the defaults, but I don't. So what I'll do now is do function calls. Remember, this makes the function, the mouthy thing. This asks to run it. Update screen. And I'm going to call it at the end of all of these. Oh, it looks like I'm not allowed to use the name variable. It is a reserved variable in JavaScript. So instead of using name, I'm going to say username, I guess, because I can't use name. Username. So now let me just make sure I don't have that anywhere else. I think I had it down here. It's a reserved thing, meaning they use it in the base of the programming language. So it's just like if you tried to write var for something, VAR, you can't name something VAR. That's used in another way. So username is what I'll do. All right. Let's see. This is all looking good. So, oh, there's something. We need to start. Notice I start age equal to 20 in the app, but age doesn't even exist yet when I hit run. Here, it's going to error out. I'm going to hit down. Non means it doesn't have any idea what I mean because I click down, and when I do so, the computer says, okay, age equals age minus 1. Well, age is equal to nothing. Nothing, what? And it gets super confused. So how we fix that is we want to set age to be equal to whatever I have it starting on the app. So I would do age equals 20 here, okay? And I capitalize there. Make sure you're careful. Let's make sure yeah. So notice they're capital here and they're lowercase here. So you really want to be careful with that. In order to fix it, I can do two things. I can change them to lowercase in here, which is actually what I'm going to do. Or you can go through the code and do uppercase. All right. Code. Okay. Let's give this try a bit of debugging run. I'm going to say Mr. Kaiser, and I'm going to move age. Hello, Mr. Kaiser. I see your future. I see the future. Your year is going to be colorful. Now, is that what we're expecting? Color is equal to red. Oh, I haven't changed color yet. Got it. So let's make sure we set all of these defaults. So I just declared them at the top. You want these to all equal whatever it says as a default. So my default will be red because that's what it starts as. Try again. And down. So I haven't written my name, so undefined is fine, but I'm 19. Let's see if that's right. If you're older than 16 and red, it should be rosy. So far, so good. I'll say Mr. Kaiser. And then let me go under 16. Yeah, rad. Oh, I put a period too. Oops. Oh. All right. So now let's say I want blue is the one. Blue. So I'm blue and I'm 16. Blue and my age is less than 30. I wish. Brilliant. Okay. Now over 30 like I am. Awful. Bum, bum, bum. And now anything else, purple, colorful. green, colorful, right? That is what we were expecting. Then what if I'm under the age of 10 though and something else? Childish. Ta-da! Oh, that's awesome. That's really kind of fun actually to do. So this is complicated. Let's go to the top, and I just want to walk you through again. So you want to have your variables equal to whatever you're starting with. Otherwise, it errors out. I demonstrated that. On events, name input change. So when they change the name, I grab that and store it in username using getText. I then call update screen because I want to make sure I update the text area with the latest info. Now, on event, name drop, change, color drop. So when they pick a color, I grab the getText color, slap it into my variable that's color, and say, hey, update the screen, because I want to check if that new color changes what I am displaying. Then I have on event up button and down button for the buttons. I take my age variable, set it equal to what it used to be, +1 or -1, depending. I use set text here, right? I think I could... Yeah, set text works fine actually. Age text area, and then smash that age into there. Then I update the screen. Here's my update screen. If it's red and age is greater than 16, and if that's true, it doesn't run anything else in this if, but it will look at these, but it won't matter because it's red. If this is false, it would look at this else if. Same thing, we're checking all the ages here. Down here I say color does not equal blue, does not equal red, because I want to make sure I'm doing anything other than those two colors are these answers. And then finally, I did this so you could see it. I create this variable, smash all the text into it, and set the text. That is awesome. Tricky, tricky, tricky stuff. I think the update screen was probably the hardest part with all of those ifs and with all of those ands. And with all of those ands. Cool. I'm excited to hear about your applications. What did you make? Tell me about it below. I would love to hear all the cool stuff you guys are doing. Obviously, I love this stuff. So yeah, onward.